All right, she's finally here after weeks of debating and discussing and watching countless videos and doing a lot of reading for my ultimate luxury two-up touring machine. And I decided on the Honda Goldwing. This is the 2025 Tour DCT model in light silver. Now, there were a couple of 50th anniversary specials, if you will, because this is the 50th anniversary of this legendary bike in production. Flat six-cylinder engine, 1833cc, dual clutch transmission, 7-speed, has 121 liters of storage, 61-liter top box with beautiful couch-like backrest and two 30-liter side panniers. Apple CarPlay, so looking forward to using that. Even has a reverse gear that I've not used yet. So looking forward to a fun ride. And so let's go ride. All right, ready to roll. Roll. All right, first ride on my brand new Honda Goldwing. Close my visor. This thing is big and loud, and I know why it's loud now. I forgot to put in my earplugs, which I shall do in a second. Let's go now. Ooh, still loud, but tolerable. All right, it's a nice 70-degree day. Seems warmer because it's pretty sunny. And we're going to take a nice ride, about probably 100 miles or so before I stop. And then we will come back. So wow, this bike has a lot of oomph, if you know what I mean. So on the freeway, and wow, what a beautiful bike this is. Got to figure out the right windshield adjustment so that we can have the most uninterrupted monologue from yours truly. Uninterrupted by wind noise, that is. Okay, buddy. This is so smooth that it is hard to describe. I cannot believe how much fun riding this bike is and how stable it is. If you can see right below right there, I'm going to try and zoom in. You can see the front suspension just bouncing away, but it does not translate to the chassis of the motorcycle, specifically to the rider. So extremely smooth. It has the Tele lever front suspension, much like the new BMWs. Very stable, very planted, does not dive when you hit the front brakes. The DCT transmission is ludicrous how nice and smooth it is. I have the DCT transmission on my Africa Twin as well. I've been using that for about 8 years. It's great. It's not as smooth, let's say, but that's a adventure bike meant for a lot of off-roading, rough roads, so you don't expect a whole lot of smoothness. But man, the Honda engineers have done a really great job with the Goldwing DCT. It is so smooth. It is butter, as they say. Okay, so I'm going to be riding along, enjoying this beautiful 71-degree weather. In tour mode, there are 4 modes: Tour, Sport, Rain, and Econ. I don't see myself using the Econ mode very much, if at all. Rain, if it's raining. But I'm going to try the Sport mode on the way through some twisties and see how that does. The Tour mode is very adequate. I mean, it's in 7th gear right now at 55 miles an hour, which people might say, well, that's too tall a gear. But you know what? It's smooth. It's not lugging. It is, and if I twist the throttle, it will rocket forward. So really, really nice and smooth ride. So this bike has been modified or updated, as a better word, for 2025. Wireless Apple CarPlay is now a thing. There is a glove compartment here where you can plug in your phone to charge, if you will. It's a small cubby. You probably take some sunglasses, maybe a wallet or so. But I keep my phone in my pocket because I don't want it to overheat in there. There isn't any ventilation. So that works out really well. And what is the speed limit here? I think it's 55 right in front of me, so I'm doing 70. Hopefully there's no popo here to catch me. But yeah, it's in 7th gear right now, 2,500 RPM, doing 70 miles an hour. And literally you could do 80 miles an hour on this all day. There is cruise control. I've not tried it. Should I try it? Okay, let me set it to, and there's cruise control. It is not traffic aware cruise control, so that's the thing. I've never used cruise control on a motorcycle. This is literally my 40 years of riding bikes. The very first time I'm using cruise control. So I think I'll turn it off. It's making me a little anxious. But I'm sure for long freeway rides, it would be a godsend. I've just never had the luxury of a bike with cruise control. So big bike, but actually it's only 2 inches wider than my Africa Twin. So yeah, it seems like it could eat my Africa Twin for breakfast or lunch. But it actually is only 2 inches wider. The Africa Twins is taller. It's obviously an ADV bike with 21-inch wheels. This has 18-inch in the front, 16 in the back, tubeless tires, cast rims, shaft drive. The Africa Twin are spoked wheels with tubes for off-roading, obviously, and has a chain. So also, in addition to the bike, I paid for an extra 5 years of extended warranty. So the motorcycle comes with 3 years standard warranty, unlimited miles, and I added another 5 years with the roadside assistance option. So we just have to get through this little town of Hollister, California, home of Corbin seats that they make actually really good seats. I might look into Corbin if I decide to go the aftermarket seat. The Honda seats are not usually the most comfortable, but this is a Goldwing, so you'll give it the benefit of the doubt and put a couple of thousand miles on it before I think about plunking a significant amount of change on an aftermarket seat. I've had ultimate seats before on my VTX 1300. It's super comfortable. So there's a lot to get used to. This is 50 years of engineering built into the Goldwing. So this is a big, heavy bike, but you'd never know it. It actually feels lighter and easier than my Africa Twin that is probably at least 300 pounds lighter, because the center of gravity is so low. The engine is held really low on the frame. It's a big flat six engine. I don't know how much it weighs. I'm sure it does a lot. It's like a car engine sized engine. But also the fuel tank is below the seat. It's not up here on as you typically have in front of you on most traditional motorcycles. This one is below the seat. When I fill gas, I'll show you how to access it. So I don't know, about a 5.5 gallon tank, 6 pounds per gallon. So I don't know, 33 pounds or so are held low, which is pretty cool. So that also certainly assists with just the lower planted feel of the bike. I'm still getting used to, bringing it to stops, just the weight and putting my feet down. The brakes are linked, so that means when you press the front brake, the back brake is also, the rear brake is also activated, and vice versa. That is something a little different than my Africa Twin. So this is a beautiful Catholic church. So this is the way to Pinnacles National Park. I'm in 6th gear. Now move to 7th gear. Just cruising along at 80 miles an hour. So I'm still fiddling with the windshield, and this is a vent that gives you some air. It's actually decent airflow. I'm wearing a very heavy Climb Badlands Pro A3 jacket, which is fantastic in cold weather, has incredible safety protection, but it's pretty hot and just pretty heavy. All that safety protection comes at a price. It's hot. Plus, I'm wearing an airbag vest, the Revit version of the Tech Air 5. If you've seen my gear video in an earlier video, you know all this stuff already. But that is also, since it's an airbag, it's not vented. So it's pretty toasty. I have ordered a new jacket. I'll share with you when it comes. I'll make a little video of a mesh jacket, which I think is a great balance between comfort and enough safety to make me feel comfortable. So we'll see. Ooh, so there's a bit of a lean here. I am leaning this 900-pound bike at 70 miles an hour. Ooh, those. Actually, I'm just used to taking that turn at that speed on my older bike. Not older bike, my beautiful Africa Twin, which is 8 years older. So the older brother to this bike here. I think this bike is female and Africa Twin's male. So I've got to figure out a nice name for it. This is very spaceship looking. So some kind of spaceship name. Yeah, I feel really bounced. We're going to get much more twisty turns coming up in a little bit, and we shall see. Again, new tires, kind of slick, even though I have a couple 100 miles now on it, but the sides are probably still very new. So we'll take these turns at not hooligan speeds, but nice, responsible rider speeds that we all are. So yeah, I certainly love riding in Northern/Central California. Just beautiful, beautiful landscapes. Empty roads in most cases once you get out of the busy city centers. Just gorgeous. So calming, peaceful. Good, beautiful vineyards in front. We're going to be passing a whole bunch of them. This is the little town of Pacings. It's not a town, actually. I don't know if it has anything other than a convenience store, but a bunch of people live here. Gorgeous vineyards, fancy mansions up top. Let's see if GPS will work in these places. No, the map's kind of giving out. So that's not great. There's no cell coverage here. Yeah, I don't know where to put it. I do have a Garmin XT that I could get a second cradle for and figure out where to put it. Good man with the indicator. So I just applied my front brakes and don't cut out. See if Google Maps does any better. Oh, actually does. So, or does it? Nope. So I guess in these places you gotta use offline maps, which I'm not sure why it's not coming out, but you know, who needs GPS? That's good to know. So your cell must be in network for CarPlay to work. Never used it. Oh, something came up. Guess I should change that icon. That's my silver car. I don't have an arrow icon on this thing. Okay, so I'm doing 80 and I literally don't feel it. It's about 2800 RPM in 7th gear, 80 miles an hour. Look at this beautiful rolling hills, kind of dry right now. Well, it is almost July. And yeah, pretty awesome. Doing 85 miles an hour now. Alright, so that got up to 90 miles an hour like in a second. Yeah, this is a big boy bike with big boy muscles. A big girl bike with big girl muscles. No offense. All right, so I really wanted to like the BMW motorcycles. I have some friends who have the big touring bikes. They like them a lot. Put lots of miles on them. They're really good riders. One of them I went to Alaska with, so I trust his riding acumen and his expertise. So I rode the K1600 Grand America, which had all the options I was looking for. The K1600 GTL has a really high pillion, which I was trying to avoid. It is considerably higher, and I guess it's designed for the pillion rider to be able to see over the head of the rider. Not so sure. I like a little bit of height, but don't think they need to be sitting 8 inches higher than me. And for the pillion themselves, that's a little precarious. So anyway, notwithstanding, I rode it. Really nice bike, lots of gizmos on it, all kinds of similar stuff. The Honda Goldwing has a reverse option. You can reverse. Yes, I will. I've not tried it. I will try it hopefully today. And a forward walking function as well to help it park. The BMWs have a reverse, but they don't have a forward. Again, you know, it's only for parking in tight spots, or if you need to somehow creep up uphill and you don't want to lurch up in gear. I don't know what the use case is, but one of those nice to have. The challenge with the K1600 Grand America specifically that it apparently has. Wow, look at this nice sweeper. And here's another one coming up. So let's just do that. So late apex, counter steer, lean, and there we are. Wow, that is really smooth. Love it. So the K1600 Grand America model specifically apparently has a pretty bad wobble. Yes, a wobble at high speeds. So that's not good. If you're a motorcyclist and you're going at high speeds, you don't want to wobble. That's the last thing you want, actually. So what BMW did, I guess it's a significant design issue. Instead of, I don't know, fixing it, I don't even know how they would fix it without completely redesigning the bike, but that would be the responsible thing to do, again, in my humble opinion. So they just put a limit on the top speed. So you can't go over 100 miles an hour on the 1600 Grand America. Now, 100 miles an hour seems pretty generous, you know, but this comes with a 160 horsepower engine. So it can go 200 miles an hour if you wanted to. So the fact that they're covering up, for lack of a better term, a significant design and safety issue by just putting a band-aid on it by capping the top speed is very concerning to me. Safety is probably my number one priority, right before reliability and right even before comfort. So this is a pretty dangerous pastime, if you will, to start with. But yeah, I'm not looking for depth. So that was out. I did consider seriously the brand new BMW 1300 RT, but reviews were not stellar, especially compared to the 1250 RT, which I test rode. It's a nice bike. I don't know if it is comfortable. It'll be comfortable for a billion. Again, maybe my standards or my expectations are too high. I don't know. So I thought of waiting for that. I've actually connected with a couple of dealers who will inform me when the configuration I'm looking for it will come. Now, obviously, each dealership now has one bike, and even more obviously, they are the top spec, the most expensive. And BMW specs on these bikes are based on the color. So if you get color green, you get the top of the line stuff, and I don't like that color green. I want as close to silver, which is white, which is one of their lower spec bikes, but you can add options to make it as spec as you want. Anyway, this is my third Honda motorcycle, maybe my, I don't know, fourth or fifth Honda vehicle in general. Oh, here comes some fun twisties, and I'm going to take them gently, okay? So I know these roads well. I'm going double the speed limit for these turns, but yeah, let's not do anything silly. But man, this is so planted and just falls into the corners. Love it. I do ride in the mountains, the Sierra Nevadas, which if you ever come to this part of the country, or a must do, there are several passes over 10,000 feet that are just amazing, and the roads are actually beautiful and well maintained, very narrow, and people fly very fast, and lots of places without guardrails, and you're up 10,000 feet. So caution is to be balanced with enjoyment of these great roads. I'm going, as you can tell, pretty conservatively. This is a bit of a bumpy part of the twisties. Okay, it's getting really hot. It's 89 degrees. I'll lower my windshield a little bit. Get a little air. This is a low setting. I'm looking over it. Not sure if I like that too much. So maybe somewhere there. Yeah, it is a power windshield. It's pretty cool. Wireless Apple CarPlay is really cool too. Oh, good man. I'm just using my front brakes because they're linked. So it's a really balanced braking, big brakes. I'm not sure what the size is. I think they're 320 millimeters in front, which is pretty massive. But, you know, you got to bring a 900-pound bike plus rider over maybe 1,100 pounds of fast-moving mass to a quick stop. So it's really hot today, so we won't try it. But we do have 5 levels of heating for the grips and 5 levels of heating for the seat, with the pillion having their own heating control. So yeah, pretty fancy stuff. Wow, look at this beautiful views. So nice. So fortunate and blessed to live here. Big giant mirrors. They have a really good wide field of view. Fully adjustable. The mirror housing folds in for parking. Pretty neat. $87 degrees. Oh, suspension is electronic. 4 settings. Rider baggage, rider pillion bag. Right there, you can see just the rider logo. This dash is not ultra high tech. And you know, I'm okay with that. I was actually hoping it wasn't the super gizmo. And we have a TFT screen in the middle. It's not touchscreen, there's a glass, but we have 2 sets of controls. Yeah, I was hoping it wasn't just this overly, you know, gadgety, gimmicky dash. I don't mind having the features. I just don't know if I want them in 18 colors in my face. This is old school, big dials for speed, RPM, and, you know, 3 different smaller LCD displays, and then 1 big TFT display, maybe 7 inches. I don't know, probably 7 inches. Not sure. Central locking. I have a key fob in my jacket, so this is the proximity key fob. As you get closer, it will work. Otherwise, everything stays locked. The 3 panniers, the bike, obviously, and gas, cubby holes, everything stays locked. So pretty convenient. I don't have to fiddle with keys. The Climb Badlands Pro A3 jacket, the one I'm wearing, has a inside pocket with a little hook, carabiner-like hook that you can hook your keys onto and zip it up and forget it's there. You'll never forget your keys if you're wearing a jacket. And less likely to lose them. I'm probably at, like, I don't know, a quarter throttle, and I'm at 80 miles an hour. Let's see how we fill gas here. Step 1, there's a little cubby here. Pop that. Step 2, there's a little button in there. Step 3, open fuel tank. That kind of looks like a car fuel tank. $6.49. Okay, so got some gas. Got a couple of Gatorades in me. It says right next to the freeway, but we won't be doing that today. We're going to cruise on back the way we came. Let's try reverse again. Okay, so to reverse, you hold the brake, press the button, release the brake, and it starts reversing. Wow, quicker than I thought. That is pretty awesome. I would be struggling to get out of here. I went over a little bump there. And now heading back, I'll try the sport mode here. See if that makes a difference. We're in sport mode now. But we will, as mentioned earlier, be very gentle and brake off. And let's roll. You can tell it holds the gears a little bit more. Still very smooth. Yep, it's sitting in fourth gear. I'm at 60. Let's see how it does. Seventh gear now. And it's holding in seventh. Lower gears, thumb, higher gears, forefinger. Wow, that was the perfect gear for that. Third gear. Ooh, love it. Sport mode rocks. It is way more aggressive than I thought, but so smooth. So in fourth gear, I think tour mode would already be in 7. You can hear the big engine just roaring. So now we won't be able to go very fast. There's a couple of cars ahead. So I want to give them space so they don't have a conniption. So the sport mode changes suspension, changes the power delivery, changes all kinds of stuff. It's certainly how long it holds gear as well, so it's not just one variable. It's almost like it seems louder. Sport mode is pretty awesome. Tour mode is really nice and probably what I'll do for most of my riding. But occasionally I can see myself having fun in sport mode. Wow, that was pretty cool. Okay, overall, really fun first ride. The bike is incredibly comfortable. I cannot say that enough. It's got fluid, or nearly instant acceleration, extremely smooth power delivery, really nice suspension. I mean, the Tele front really makes a big difference. And this is, even though it looks smooth probably on camera, somewhat bumpy with a lot of patched potholes. So I don't even feel it. I'm doing 85 miles an hour. Should probably slow down. But you could do that all day. I could literally do 85 miles an hour all day on it and not break a sweat. It takes corners really well. Probably as fast as my Africa Twin, which is kind of scary. For the size of this bike and how much bigger it is, it corners really, really well. I don't have floorboards on this. There are passenger floorboards. They're folded in. That big 6-cylinder engine is really musical. Just a deep bass. Right, that was my first ride, heading home now. Really great time. The bike is a big, scary bike to look at, but it is so light when it's on its feet. Perfectly balanced, lots of power, all kinds of electronic gizmos and safety features, but nothing too distracting. So I look forward to sharing many more videos with all of you on the specific functions and features of the bike as I get to learn them as well. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, sharing, and commenting on my video. I greatly appreciate it. Have an awesome day. Joe Becker out.